Senior Connections, a show about senior issues and events. A guide to active independent living. With your hosts, Margie Toms and Janet Halliday.
Good afternoon and welcome to Senior Connections. I'm Margie Wimberly Toms.
And I'm Janet Halliday. Today we are delighted to be joined by our Lieutenant Governor, the Honorable Glenn McConnell, and he's going to tell us about the Lieutenant Governor's Office and the Office on Aging. Welcome to Senior Connections.
Yes,
Thank you for having me.
Mr. McConnell. Why don't you give us a brief summary in terms of your background and how you became Lieutenant Governor?
Well, of course, I graduated from University of South Carolina Law School. I was a lawyer for the legal aid program in Charleston. Then I became a private practitioner, worked in labor management relations. And in 1980, I got elected to South Carolina Senate. Enjoyed what I was doing and figured the system out that if you have an impact, you needed to stay. I stayed 32 years to be exact. Became chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, president pro tempore of the South Carolina Senate. I got into retail business and learned about merchandising, and then on March the 13th, I had to take the oath of office under the Constitution because as President Pro Tem, the Constitution says that there's a vacancy in the Lieutenant Governorship. So I had to vacate my Senate seat, quit my political dream, so to speak, and become the Lieutenant Governor.
And has that been everything you expected it to be?
It's been quite different than I expected. I was genuinely really sad about leaving the Senate on the 13th. But on March the 14th, I started learning about the Office on Aging. Here I have been a member of the Senate. It was nothing more than a line item in the budget, so it never got discussed. But then I found out about the challenge ahead and what they were doing, and I found out that the population was going to double in seniors over the next 20 years. We've got over 900,000 seniors in this state. And then I found out about the challenges and that home and community base had been cut almost 48% over the previous 3 years. And if you're going to be the Lieutenant Governor and you're going to be the advocate for aging, you need to go out there and do the job. And I decided to do the job, and I went out to talk for those with disabilities, the seniors, and the what I call adult children that seniors are taking care of. But they need a voice at the front door and in the legislature to fight the lobbyists or compete with them on the question of resources and the question of legislation and the question of consumer protection and things. So that became my role. And in retrospect now, because I've been out there and met the seniors and gotten into the issue, I'm happy to be where I am and to have the opportunity to make a difference.
It sounds like it was a blessing that you were put in that position.
It looks like it to me because I'm able to take that experience now and deal with the problem that both of you are familiar with.
Absolutely.
Well, and I think they needed somebody from your perspective to actually look at what you said, a line item, and know that it was a real situation.
Exactly.
Now, you just completed the Face of Aging tour. Now,
Sure did.
Tell us about the top 3. I know there are many, many more issues, but at least the top 3 issues facing seniors in South Carolina.
Well, the Face of Aging tour puts a face on it. And in a nutshell, the greatest challenge facing seniors to me is to carry out their wish, which is to remain independent at home and age in place. And to do that, they need a variety of opportunities locally and resources. It may be the meal a day because they can't cook, or a homemaker once or twice a week to help clean the house so they can keep it clean, or transportation to a doctor so they can get medical attention and stay out of more acute care. Or it could be some minor home repair or alteration which allows them to adapt to their home. And the senior centers are kind of the frontline gateways to that. They channel in seniors helping seniors. They kind of bring it together and focus home and community based. So in this state, the lack of resources and alternatives locally is what we saw. And I saw seniors, there are 8,000 seniors on our waiting list that need one of those services. And I could put a face and a story many times to you that would just make your heart throb. And you ask yourself, how can we leave those people behind? They don't want a handout, they just want a helping hand.
Absolutely.
And we've got the first signal, and we're going to take our first break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more from the Lieutenant Governor after these words from our sponsors.
Are your floors in need of a facelift? Shop at Floorboys. We have the highest quality products, value pricing, and unmatched service. At Floorboys, we treat you like family and provide an experience you cannot get at the big box stores. So please come see me, Brian, at Floorboys.
Don't compromise, mobilize with All Medical.
Enhance your mobility and independence with a van from All Medical. Choose from a Dodge Caravan or a Honda Odyssey and customize it for your needs. Whether you're slightly ambulatory or in a wheelchair, you'll enjoy knowing you can get around town whenever you want. You depend on All Medical to provide services and products to fit your lifestyle. Now call on All Medical to take you that extra mile.
Don't compromise, mobilize with All Medical.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler, and I'm here to tell homeowners that are 62 and older about a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage.
A reverse mortgage can give you tax-free cash, no monthly mortgage payments, and you still own your home.
Call Larry Reed now, your local expert, to find out if you qualify.
Ask for your free reverse mortgage guide and DVD. And when you call now, you'll also get this lighted magnifier absolutely free.
At Heartstrings Hospice, we are here to help. Each patient has a team dedicated to providing emotional, medical, and spiritual support. At Heartstrings Hospice, we will ensure the time that you have together will allow you to be just her son and you to be just her daughter, because you shouldn't have to be anything else. At Heartstrings Hospice, we are here to help.
Are your floors in need of a facelift? Shop at Floorboys. We have the highest quality products, value pricing, and unmatched service. At Floorboys, we treat you like family and provide an experience you cannot get at the big box stores. So please come see me, Brian, at Floorboys.
Welcome back. We are talking to our Lieutenant Governor, Governor McConnell. He's telling us all about the Office on Aging. Now, you had mentioned something about the meal a day. I just want to make sure that our listeners differentiate the difference between the meal a day and Meals on Wheels.
Yeah, there is a difference. Excellent question. Meals on Wheels is a nonprofit, does a great job, but it doesn't serve everywhere. Our home delivered meals are to people who don't get service from Meals on Wheels. And so what we aim to do with our program is to try to keep people from migrating to the higher levels of care that eventually will take you to a Medicaid nursing bed, which is going to cost the taxpayers over $52,000 a year. We're 35 to 40 times cheaper if we can provide a service to seniors at home that allows them to stay at home and again age in place and healthy. It's be proactive on the front end, and you'll avoid budget busting on the back end.
So exactly. Very true.
Now, you had discussed in the first segment some of the things that you found out when you went out on your tour. Was there anything out there that you were really taken back by? I mean, tell us about that.
Yes. Over-regulation and under-regulation. On one hand, a facility that didn't have a kitchen or a refrigerator got licensed. On the other hand, we go into facilities that do good jobs for seniors, and they get written up because a lady has a can of hairspray in her private apartment. Can you imagine taking the time to write up a facility over that? Or another facility where they have Alzheimer's. They had electric locks. If they had a fire, the electric locks would unlock the doors. But because their regulations didn't fit that, they turned around and made the facility take the electric locks out and put padlocks on, and then for the Alzheimer's victims said, well, you just need to give them a hammer to hit the breakaway padlocks to get out. Then it goes on. It goes on to a healthcare facility that's attached to a nursing, skilled, and assisted living. Assisted living can use the swimming pool, but the skilled nursing cannot because the materials in there don't meet the regs, but they can take them in a bus and go across the street to another facility that's the same as that one. And then I could take you to another facility where they made them build sidewalks to essentially to nowhere around the building, and then the next division comes in and says, now under federal regs, you got to put dual lighting in. All that money wasted. And lastly, I take you to an adult daycare center where they do a great job for adult children so that the seniors and the parents can work. They work 5 days a week. They needed a 6th day. But under the regulations in this state, they'd have to go back through recertification to do the same thing with the same population, with the same personnel for a 6th day. And the story goes on and on.
And I know your next position is going to be head of DHEC.
Are you changing some of these things as you go along, Mr. McConnell?
Yes, I can tell you that one of my number one priorities will be to insist that the General Assembly have to vote yes or no on these regulations, vote them up or down. They go into effect in this state. If they file these regs and they don't disapprove them, 120 days later they go into effect and they have the force and effect of law.
And they have unintended consequences.
Unintended consequences.
I mean, when we were between shots, we were talking about some of the regs where we have community care homes out there that are actually under the same DHEC regulations as your private 30, 40 bed assisted living facilities. They cannot operate because of, you said, OSS?
Yeah, the optional state supplement facilities, they only get $1,122, and that includes that person's Social Security money and the state supplement. They get paid that for their meals and to keep them for all services. Then the resident only gets $35 for their toiletries a month, plus their co-pays on their medicine. That facility's still liable for the co-pays too on it. And then they're putting all these regulations on them because they've bunched them all under one thing. These people have nowhere to go. And so the supplement's too low. And one of the things I'm going to be asking the General Assembly to do is to increase that supplement. These people have nowhere to go. They're going to be homeless and out there. We can do a better job in this state.
And I couldn't agree more, and we're going to take our second break right now. But as you can see, don't you go anywhere, because we're going to be right back, and you're going to hear about more of those regulations after these words from our sponsor.
Are your floors in need of a facelift? Shop at Floorboys. We have the highest quality products, value pricing, and unmatched service. At Floorboys, we treat you like family, provide an experience you cannot get at the big box stores. So please come see me, Brian, at Floorboys.
Really?
Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
At Heartstrings Hospice, we are here to help. Each patient has a team dedicated to providing emotional, medical, and spiritual support. At Heartstrings Hospice, we will ensure the time that you have together will allow you to be just her son and you to be just her daughter. because you shouldn't have to be anything else. At Heartstrings Hospice, we are here to help.
As large corporations continue to take over local businesses, Carnegie and Mosley Funeral Home is still family-owned and independent. They believe that bigger doesn't mean better, and people always come before profits. That trust is earned, not bought. The Carnegie and Mosley family has been serving families since 1884. Carnegie and Mosley Funeral Home, they are your neighbors, and you'll appreciate the difference.
Woodash is having a mattress sale. Why pay thousands of dollars for a Visco memory foam mattress when you can get a complete two-piece queen set at Woodash for $3.99? This quality mattress layered with Visco memory foam features a cool, comfortable quilted top for a comfortable, cool sleep every night. Highly resilient, highly durable, and best of all, at a discount price starting at just $3.99 for the two-piece queen set. For the lowest discount prices featuring Visco memory foam mattresses starting at $3.99, shop Woodash today. Woodash, located in the heart of the Vista, 919 Gervais.
Welcome back to Senior Connections. We are again talking with our guest, Lieutenant Governor Mr. McConnell. And I was thinking about what you just said, because I work at a daycare for 2 hours a day, and community long-term care says there has to be an RN there, okay? But a lot of things, okay, when they come around and do inspection with us, DHEC, some things that we don't have, and they tell us that we have, and consequently, the person who owns the place has to get these things, and sometimes it costs a little more extra money. When you have a low census on your clients, that can make a difference. It really can.
You're exactly correct. And the sad part is that money's taken away from services for the residents there.
Exactly.
And those workers that work there in particular. You know, they need a little bit more money. But these facilities turn around. I mean, think about the cost of a dual lighting system on a sidewalk that nobody's going on, that went around the back of a skilled nursing center. It's just
no point.
It's unbelievable. There's no point to it. Patient care should come first, and common sense should be the rule of thumb.
Absolutely.
But instead, it's technical compliance with regulations.
Oh, technical,
It's
absolutely.
So true, you know?
I mean, one of the big issues that I heard, because I had the pleasure of attending the tour that you did at the Capitol Senior Center, was transportation. What are we going to do with transportation?
Transportation's a big problem for several reasons. One, we need good transportation for seniors to get into senior facilities, senior centers, because if they do, one of the great things that we've seen out there has been the growth of what I call health facilities, treadmills and exercising machines, and it becomes contagious for seniors. How do you keep them active? How do you keep them motivated? Transportation to senior centers, but transportation for seniors. They need to get to supermarkets. One of the things that we've come across is pet food drives have now become something that need to be done, because seniors were taking the meals delivered to them and sharing them with their pets because they had no way to get to a supermarket. And starving themselves because their loved one is that companion, that pet. So transportation is an important thing. It's transportation to get the meals out. We need to change the law in this state to protect volunteers, to limit their liability if they're on volunteer runs to deliver meals to seniors and people with disabilities. So transportation, and then lastly, what bothers me is the way we have handled the transportation issues with Medicaid and seniors. I frankly think that we're making a mistake by not working Medicaid transportation and senior transportation together so that it fuels the infrastructure and allows us to use that cash flow to better serve seniors and Medicaid folks who in a lot of instances are seniors. So those are some of the issues I see with transportation.
He hit the nail on the head when he said common sense. A lot of these solutions, I think, are easy if you use some common sense. But unfortunately, it is the regulations or lack thereof that have impeded a lot of those, the progress on those things.
It is. And, you know, for instance, sprinklers and big pump stations for OSS facilities out in the country where they don't have water pressure.
Right.
I mean, and then you're only giving them 11/22. How can they stay open? Somebody's got to stop and say, what's best for these clients?
Absolutely. It's number one.
Right.
It sure is.
Now, we're talking about seniors now, but for those who will become seniors in the next 10 to 20 years, what should some of them be doing to prepare for that time?
Well, for the younger ones, I'd say get long-term care insurance if you can afford it. Secondly, try to save for retirement. For those who are getting close to doing it, familiarize yourself now with the resources that are out there, both public and private. And then think about things like a durable power of attorney to somebody you can trust, but also things like a living will and end-of-life documents. And those are available. I would urge you to go to agent.sc.org and go to the legal resources there. We have the documents that can assist you with that. So people need to be thinking in terms of that. Then they need to be thinking, if they're doing repairs to their home, think ahead. Start putting in things for handicap and things like that.
And we'll be right back with more from our Lieutenant Governor after this break.
Are your floors in need of a facelift? Shop at Floorboys. We have the highest quality products, value pricing, and unmatched service. At Floorboys, we treat you like family, provide an experience you cannot get at the big box stores. So please come see me, Brian, at Floorboys.
Don't compromise, mobilize with All Medical.
Enhance your mobility and independence with a van from All Medical. Choose from a Dodge Caravan or a Honda Odyssey and customize it for your needs. Whether you're slightly ambulatory or in a wheelchair, you'll enjoy knowing you can get around town whenever you want. You depend on All Medical to provide services and products to fit your lifestyle. Now call on All Medical to take you that extra mile.
Don't compromise, mobilize with All Medical.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler, and I'm here to tell homeowners that are 62 and older about a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage.
A reverse mortgage can give you tax-free cash, no monthly mortgage payments, and you still own your home.
Call Larry Reed now, your local expert, to find out if you qualify.
Ask for your free reverse mortgage guide and DVD. And when you call now, you'll also get this lighted magnifier absolutely free.
At Heartstrings Hospice, we are here to help. Each patient has a team dedicated to providing emotional, medical, and spiritual support. At Heartstrings Hospice, we will ensure the time that you have together will allow you to be just her son and you to be just her daughter, because you shouldn't have to be anything else. At Heartstrings Hospice, we are here to help.
Body language can tell you all sorts of things. Like someone is having a stroke. Know the sudden signs. Learn fast. Face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty. Time to call 911 and get them to a hospital immediately. Learn the body language and spot a stroke fast.
Are your floors in need of a facelift? Shop at Floorboys. We have the highest quality products, value pricing, and unmatched service. At Floorboys, we treat you like family, provide an experience you cannot get at the big box stores. So please come see me, Brian, at Floorboys.
Welcome back to Senior Connections. We are continuing our conversation with our Lieutenant Governor, Mr. McConnell, who's been just a pleasure having him here, bringing us up to date on the Office of Aging. What is the, for the computer, how do folks get through to you in terms of?
I made a little error on the .org, it's .gov. It's aging.sc.gov.
Aging.sc.gov.
And it's actually legal information category in there, and that'll take you right to those documents. And then we do have that book that we did with the Bar Association, South Carolina Bar, which really deals with a lot of the issues of aging and everything. Y'all both know one of the greatest challenges we got these resources that are disparate out there, and it's how do we interconnect all of that and make that an operational fabric for seniors. That's one of the big challenges we got.
And I want to let our folks know that if they go to our website, seniorconnections.tv, we are going to have a link to the Lieutenant Governor's website as well as the Office on Aging. So if you can't find it through there, go through us. We're going to link back to him. But he has a wealth of information, especially on that Office on Aging website. I went through there, and one of the things that stuck out was the scam. Senior scams.
Yes.
They need to go through that and familiarize themselves. I didn't realize there were so many senior scams.
Yes.
I said, it's just interesting to go to read it. And that book you were talking about, South Carolina Senior Citizens Handbook.
Correct.
I think that you can go on that Office on Aging website, and it actually will come down on a PDF, so they can...
That's my understanding also.
Okay.
Okay, if you don't have a computer, how do you get access to that book?
If they will call the
like
office,
a pamphlet or something?
We've been giving them out, and we do have them. If somebody wrote us, we'll find a way to get one to them.
Oh,
okay,
good.
So, well, going back, you were talking about transportation. You were talking about regulations. Is there anything else that you learned during this tour that you want to tell us about?
We got 8,000. I'll go back to on the waiting list. They can't be left behind.
Yeah.
I've got to get the General Assembly to appropriate the money, because those people, if we don't catch them and be proactive on the front end and give them that quality of life, they're going to deteriorate and end up in skilled nursing beds at $52,000 a year. And if they have assets, skilled nursing beds cost so much, between $80,000 and $110,000. You quickly go through your assets and end up on Medicaid. So to me, it's a great chance to get our hands around the coming doubling of the population, create quality of life, prevent budget busting, and give them what they want, the opportunity to remain independent, at home, and age with grace.
Absolutely, and I couldn't say enough about remember who you're voting for.
That's right.
Yes. Now, when does your term end, Mr. McConnell?
2 more years.
You got 2 more years?
2 more years.
Oh, so we got a lot of work to do.
We got a lot of work to do. We're going to develop a strategic plan, and we're going to have a lot of initiatives, and I'll look forward to coming back and talking with you all about other things as we go out and do this this aging thing. But, you know, one of the greatest things, we've been able to get one association in the state to give us these bags to help us move seniors when we have to dislocate them because the condition's beyond their control. And to see people giving and see seniors giving, that's what it's about. How do we help one another make it?
And we're going to have to go. It has certainly been a pleasure,
Same
and
here.
you're welcome to come anytime.
Enjoyed it.
I want y'all to
Mr.
pick
McConnell,
up your booklet of Senior Living Guide. It has gone to a statewide publication, and there are lots and lots of information in here for seniors. Thanks for being with us today.
Yes, and we'll see you next week, and the Lord be with you.